How do you respond when people don't like you? Right? Situations come up all the time where we find ourselves, we don't like somebody, they don't like us. Maybe we have to work alongside them. Maybe we have to deal with them. Maybe it's just in passing, we don't have to pay much attention. But what if we kind of have to deal with some kind of on the more extreme side of how do we deal when somebody doesn't like us and they make it so very clear? So the story we're going to look at today for two apostles, it is made very, very clear that they are not liked by a group of people. In fact, the group of people decide to harass them, and how they react in that situation because they don't have Jesus with them anymore. Right now, it's at the point of the story where Jesus is no longer present, and they've got to figure out how to live in such a way to deal in these extreme moments, how they can go about spreading love and joy and good things, how they can build a good life for themselves and for others with the haters, where they get attacked, where people say unkind things, and Jesus isn't there to deflect, to be like, wait a minute, hey, I can answer this. Now they have to do it. So looking at Acts 13, verses 50 through 52. However, the Jews provoked the prominent women among the Gentile God worshippers, as well as the city leaders. They instigated others to harass Paul and Barnabas and threw them out of their district. Paul and Barnabas shook the dust from their feet and went to Iconium. Because of the abundant presence of the Holy Spirit in their lives, the disciples were overflowing with happiness. All right, so there's a group. Not only do they not like Paul and Barnabas, they don't like a whole lot of other people. And they are instigating people. They're turning things up. And it makes us think about our own responses, right? What is your usual response when somebody doesn't like you? And maybe you go, well, it depends upon the situation. It depends on how they come at, right? But when we're thinking through the full spectrum of, it can range, right? Is it anger? Is it disappointment? Is it pain? Do we want to go off and hide? Or do we want to respond? Do we want a war of words? Do we want to put one over? Are we looking for revenge? What is it that we do? Do we try to get others on board with us to be against? What is our response? And is there another way to respond well? Well, there at the end, right, Paul and Barnabas shook the dust from their feet and went to Iconium. So they're like, you know what? We need to let this go. We need to move on. We need to move to a new place. And shaking the dust off the feet is that they weren't going to let any of that bad energy, that negativity cling to them. What other people thought about them and how they treated them, they're like, you know what? We're going to shake all of that off and we're going in a whole new way. And then it said, because of the abundant presence of the Holy Spirit in their lives, the disciples were overflowing with happiness. So they're like recognizing that God's presence is still with them and that they're going to be happy. Like they're going to have an abundance of happiness. Yeah, that situation happened. And yeah, that those people over there don't like them. But you know what? They're not going to allow that negativity to ruin their day, and they are going to find happiness. They are going to create those moments of joy because the presence of God is with them. And so when we're thinking about how to respond, so often we want to respond with doing something or saying something back to people. But there are times where we just need to shake it all off and then also take stock of not letting that situation burden us, hold us down, that we need to be able to go, you know what, there is still so much joy and goodness in this world, and that's where we're going to focus. And so how will you choose to focus yourself this day? What do you need to let go of and shake off? What do you need to say, you know what, you're not going to ruin my day. You're not going to take my energy, my time, my happiness from me. How might you respond well this day to those who don't like you? Have a good one.